Alright, so I got a request to make a video talking about my experience of giving birth and my pregnancy and everything, so I decided to make this video. If you guys ever want me to talk about a topic, you can always comment below and I'll do my best to make a video. Anyway, so I'm going to be putting on some makeup and talking as we go on. So I basically gave birth to two babies, and it was pretty difficult, and I don't know if I should call it even easy, because it was pretty intense. I mean, my first baby, when I got pregnant with her, I remember the doctor telling me that she was small and I had diabetes. It was stressful because, first of all, I'm grateful because, you know, when I was trying to get pregnant, it took me a long time. Like, it took me 5 years to get pregnant with my first baby. It took me 5 years because I was having fertility issues. I know a lot of women, they go through that. It happens, you know. Anywho, so I happen to be one of them, and you know, it was I had depression, you know, because I wanted a baby so badly, you know. I was starting to get older, and I was like, oh, you know, everyone I know was having a baby, and pressure from the family, like, oh, you know, when are you gonna have a baby and stuff like that. But nobody like understood my situation. That it's not like I wasn't trying. I was. And what can I do? You know, like, it's not much I can do if the baby's not gonna come like this, right? So sorry if I'm looking in a different direction. It's because I'm also looking at myself. Anywho, so basically, like, you know, I was so close to giving up of having a baby because I thought for a second I'm not gonna have one, because I went to the fertility clinic and I actually got pregnant and I lost the baby like so quick. I don't know if it's because of the injections they gave me. It could have been too strong for my body. It's possible. But yeah, like, I was so depressed right after that, and I was thinking, oh man, like, what am I gonna do, you know? And I cried a lot, and I told my husband, man, I'm not going to the clinic anymore. All it does is brings me negativity and hope. I keep getting hope for nothing, and I just don't want to go there anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it doesn't work, like going to the clinic. It probably does. But for me, I was just like, no, I don't want to go anymore, because I just wasn't happy every time I went. So, and plus losing the baby. And not only that, I was trying even before that, doing their treatments, and I just wasn't getting pregnant. So I said, you know what? I need to focus on myself from now on. And I need to have a clear mind, you know? If your clearest eyeshadow I'm using is this one. So I said, I'm not going to think about even baby, you know, because, you know, I need to be happy too, you know? I mean, you need to have a good mood and good energy, and all it did was going to a fertility clinic was constant bad energy, you know? I just didn't like it. So I told my husband, okay, you know what? We're gonna try on our own, and that's it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What can we do? I'm not gonna keep thinking about it. So before we even tried again, I basically decided to first lose some weight, because, you know, I had PCOS, and PCOS, usually people who have it, it can be a bit difficult to even get pregnant. I mean, look at me, it took me a long time, you know. So basically, I did lose weight. I did intermittent fasting, And I lost like 20 pounds in like, I'd say in a span of 2 months. It was pretty good. I was actually pretty happy, because I really wanted to lose it in a long time, and it finally happened. So yeah, so I was so glad that I lost weight so fast. And after that, that's when we decided to try. I told him, okay, we're gonna try now, and it's okay if it doesn't happen. Like, I'm not gonna make myself get all depressed, you know. So we tried for about a couple times out of the week of when I was ovulating, and then I waited. I was like, okay, we're gonna wait now. That's it. And weeks are passing, and then all of a sudden, like the day before my birthday, I'm just like, oh God, please, like, at least for my birthday, I want a baby. Give me a baby. That's all I wanted. So I was like, okay, you know what? I don't know why. I just decided to do a pregnancy test. And finally I did the pregnancy test. And I'm like, I see I'm pregnant. I'm telling you, my wish was, God, give me a baby. I don't care about money or gifts. All I want is a baby. And I'm telling you, I was crying and calling my husband. Oops, whatever, I'll fix that after. And he was like, why are you crying? What's wrong? I'm like, you're not gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you right now. And he's like, what? I'm pregnant. He's like, no way. I'm like, I am, And it was such an emotional roller coaster. Plus, I was having a birthday party. And, I finally broke it to some of my friends. They're like, oh my God, you're pregnant. You've been trying for so long, And I'm like, yeah, can you believe it? It's finally happening, I can't even explain. Like, I'm happy because that same year I had a miscarriage, and who would have known I'm gonna get pregnant again, That's such a blessing. Like, a real blessing. Anyways, so all I have to say is the whole roller coaster, though, like after finding out I'm pregnant, it was a hassle, First of all, I puked a lot, like a lot, and I was like puking morning, afternoon, night for 3 months. I was suffering. I didn't enjoy the feeling, and I was like, oh, when is this feeling gonna ever end, And basically, I didn't take no pills or anything, Tylenol, nothing to make myself feel better, because it's like, oh, it's my first pregnancy. I want things to go smooth. That's all I wanted, And what happened is, when I went to the doctors, they started telling me, oh, you have gestational diabetes, and it was early. I was like 12 weeks only, And I was like, what the hell already? And I started freaking out because my first pregnancy, right? So me, I'm like telling my husband, like, oh man, like, I already have all these issues, and why the hell is this happening to me? Why can't I just have a good pregnancy, right? So every time I went to my ultrasound, all they kept telling me is, oh, your baby's small, your baby's small. I'm like, oh my God, man. I was freaking out, I'm a new mom, I'm freaking out. So I was worried. So I was worried that something is gonna go wrong with this pregnancy. So I was freaking out the whole time. I couldn't even have a moment of peace. Like, imagine it's the best moment, and the doctors keep giving you negative news, I felt bad the whole time, because like all I wanted was some good news, and doctors were telling me a whole bunch of bullshit. It pissed me off, But what can I do? I mean, they're telling me straight up, like at the same time, like, okay, this, that, So Hold on. Just put this powder. This powder, by the way, is not like a coverage powder or anything. It's just to set some of the areas that I just put concealer on. Just letting you know if you think I'm crazy. I'm not. So yeah, basically, like, where was I? Yeah, so at the end of my pregnancy, they tell me randomly, like, your baby needs to come out early. And I'm like, what? I'm like, why? And they were like, because she's not eating well in your tummy and she's too small and you have gestational diabetes, and people who have gestational diabetes, it's better for them to deliver earlier. So I started to freak out and I'm like, okay. I started freaking out. I told my mom, and it wasn't just that. They were like, the stuff they were saying did not help at all. You know, like, they were telling me, oh, you know, your baby's deteriorating. Is gonna start to deteriorate. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's not something you want to hear. Actually, that's not something any parent should hear. You know. So I freaked out and I ended up having to get induced. That's a few days after they told me that. You know. So I was scared shitless. You know. And I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And guess what, guys? It took me 2 days and a half. It took half a day for them to break my water, and then another half to break again another part of the water. Basically, total, it took 2 days and a half for my water to be fully out and for the baby to come out. It was a long delivery. I didn't enjoy that part. It was pretty stressful. I was on epidural. And what else? I was on epidural. And I was so cranky because the baby wasn't coming out at the end. I was like kind of yelling at the nurses. I'm like, get this baby out. If you need to do a C-section, please do a C-section now. I'm fed up. You keep telling me it's gonna come, it's gonna come, it's gonna come. It's coming, it's coming. She's okay, it's coming, it's coming. I don't want to hear that. Take this baby out, you know? And I was crying because I started to feel contractions, you know? And I mean, it was bearable, I guess. But fuck, you know? Anywho, so I was just basically pissed overall, you know? And then finally at the end, they came to check me. They're like, okay, we're gonna check and see what's happening, and if you're still not dilated enough, you're gonna have a C-section. So when they checked, they saw that I was 10 centimeters and ready to push. I was like, what? Finally? Okay. So when it came to the pushing, honestly, it took me less than 10 minutes to push out. And it's true what they say. When you have your baby in your arms, you literally forget everything. Like, literally, you know. I was happy. With my second baby, that was unplanned. This happened, but like my first one was only like 5 months old. I guess, yeah, I should have been careful, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, at least they have each other, right? Anywho, so yeah, so basically, with the second one, her, like, she happened to happen, like, randomly. I'm not gonna really go in details, but let's just say we're having a good time and we're in a good mood, and we're just like, okay, whatever. And then I found out I'm pregnant. My husband's like, no way, you're pregnant. And he wasn't ready for that. You know, he was like, what the fuck are we gonna do? And it is true, what the hell were we gonna do? Because it was too quick, you know what I mean? And we were stressing like massively and not knowing what the hell we're gonna do and how we're gonna manage with 2 babies that are young, you know? Because it can be really tough on you raising two little ones. So for me, I was like, what am I gonna do? By the way, sorry about my nails, like in previous video. It's COVID time. Where am I gonna go? Nowhere is open. And I'm a person that likes to get her manicure almost every month. You know, I try to make time. Anywho, so I got pregnant with her, and then I basically was like, okay, whatever. Pregnancy was fine, actually. They didn't complain about her being small because I didn't follow the diet really what they told me to do, honestly, because I knew that the last time I was depressed and too restrictive, and said, fuck it, I'm not going through the same thing like I did last time. So basically, I did whatever I wanted, but at the end, in the last few months, I kind of followed what they said, that I couldn't exercise, so I had to take insulin too. I did take insulin at the end of the other pregnancy. Anyway, so at the end, I'd say the difference is with this pregnancy, it was easier, but I feel like the healing was a little bit longer because she was bigger. She was 7 pounds, and my first one was 5 pounds. And the other thing is that I felt almost all the contractions because the doctor wasn't available right away to give me the epidural because it was an emergency situation. I was like, fuck. I was crying and screaming like you see in the movies. But once they gave me that epidural, I felt better. That epidural is magic. And you know, some people complain about it and say that you have back problems after. I think it's temporary. It comes and goes maybe. But I didn't have it that long. I mean, obviously in the beginning, the first week or so, you might feel something. But I was fine after. Anyway, it was not bad the second pregnancy. Now I have 2 wonderful daughters, Aaliyah and Sophia. And yeah, maybe my next video might be about how life is raising 2 girls. Alright guys, I gotta go. I hope you enjoyed this video. A super long one. Bye.